My name's Kate Williams. I'm with Omaha Girls Rock, and I'm going to show you now how to fret a bass. Fretting basically means changing the notes. Basically, how do you change from one note to the next? So first we're going to start with a review. Let's go ahead and review the parts. Remember, we have the headstock right here, tuning pegs, strings, the neck, and the body. Then down here we have the volume knob, the tone knob, and the jack for the cable, and you can see that I already have my cable plugged in. So what I want to do now is tune. So let's go ahead and plug into our tuners. Make sure you're plugged in. Turn your volume knob up and make sure your tuner's turned on. And you can see I am right on the E. So if I had to change pitch, so that's pretty close to the A, but if I wanted to change, I would turn my tuning knob either right or left very slowly until I got to the center on that note. So it would say you're playing an A. If it goes too far this way to the right, then the note is sharp. If it goes too far to the left, the note is flat. And that means it's either sharp is above the pitch, above the note, flat is below the note. And remember, it's really important for your tune to match the tuner because it will also match the guitar and the keyboard. So that way you're all playing the same thing. So if you need a minute, go ahead and put me on pause and tune up your bass, and then come back. So what we're going to do next, turn your volume down, plug into the amplifier, turn the amp power on, turn your volume knob up, and turn your amp volume up. Now we can have notes. The part of the bass that we haven't really covered much is all these lines and dots right here. Each of these lines indicates a fret. Each of the dots is basically just a little bit of a cheat sheet to help you keep track of which frets they are. Each space between the two lines, so you've got two lines here, and then we have a space. The space is where you're going to actually put your finger to change the note, and the spaces are what we count. Frets are just numbered, 1 through this one up here, 16. I don't really play that far up normally. I usually play down here on the meaty part of the bass. Fret number 1 is this one down here closest to the headstock. 2, 3. 3 is where the first dot is, so that's your marker, kind of your little cheat spot, so that you can find 3. And a lot of basses will also have a dot on the top. So they'll have the dot on the front, right there, but they'll also have a dot on top. So when you're playing bass, you can look down, and I can see that dot right there, and I know that's the 3rd fret. That way I don't have to lean forward and figure out where to put my finger. So check your bass. Does your bass have that dot? Little tiny white dot on the top, big white dot on the front. You can see, yeah, right here, you can see there's a white dot, and here's a white dot, and they correspond with the big white dots there. There's a white dot. So that's your little cheat sheet. So you can look down, and I know right there is fret number 3, 5, 7, 9, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. I was off by 3. So the next thing we're going to do is talk about actually how to change notes on each string. And so we're going to talk about how to fret, actually. So we talked about this being the frets of the bass. So the gaps between each line are what you want to push down on. And we're just going to push on one string at a time and then push down on the string pretty firmly. You want your thumb behind you so that you get a little bit of pinch on that and a little bit of grip, like gripping. You're going to push hard, and then you're going to pluck the string that you're pushing on at the same time. So if you're pushing on the A string, you want to pluck the A string. So if we play an open A, it's this, and then if we fret the A on the 3rd fret, and that first big dot right there, you get this sound. So open, 3, 3rd fret, 3, open, 5, open, 3. So you do want to press pretty firmly. The more you practice, if you practice in just short bursts every day, maybe 5 or 10 minutes, your fingers are going to get tougher and your hands are going to get stronger. So playing the bass will just become easier and easier. You know, if you get tired after 10 minutes, take a break. Maybe practice again later in the evening, or practice 2 times a day or something like that. And then the stronger you get, maybe extend your practices so you'll go 15, 20, 30 minutes, an hour. Whatever you're doing, as long as you're still having fun, is what's important. But we talked about pushing down on a string and plucking at the same time. Right now, if you go push, pick, push, pick, you want to try and coordinate that a little bit so you're kind of doing those actions at the same time instead of one, then the other, one, and then then the other. You want to push pretty hard, because if you get kind of a half push, or if it's a real light touch, this is the sound you're going to get. And that's not a nice, clean, low bass sound. That's what we want to hear. So why don't we practice doing some fretting on the string. Let's start with the E string, which is this big fat string, and it's the one that's closest up to my face. When I say that a note is going to go up, the note's going to get higher, but it's actually, we're going to move the string closer to the body. It goes higher as you get closer to the body and lower as you get closer to the headstock. We're going to pluck the E string, and we're just going to play 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And if you just want to use your pointer finger the whole time, that's fine. So we'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then we'll go up to the next string. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Next string. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Next string. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Next string. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, so take a minute. You can put me on pause, and you can practice that on your own, maybe 2 more times, and then as soon as you come back, we'll go on to something different. So I'm assuming you've practiced, and we're going to try a different pattern this time. Right now we're going to use these 2 fingers, and we're going to play open, 3, 5, 3, open. So let's play this on the E string first. Open, 3, 5, 3, open. Does that make sense? So now we're going to do the same thing. We're going to go up string by string, starting on the E string, and then open, 3, 5, 3, open on each string. Ready? Open, 3, 5, 3, open, next string. Open, 3, 5, 3, open, next string. Open, 3, 5, 3, open, next string. Open, 3, 5, 3, open. Good. So let's start at the bottom again, and let's do that one more time, but we're not going to take quite as long to pause between strings. One thing to remember, if you want to be able to hit your string pretty quickly, you don't need to have your fingers way out here so that when it's time to hit the string, you don't exactly know where to land. You know, if you're way out here, you don't know. So you want to just keep your fingers just sort of hovering right above the strings, but not actually touching them until it's time to touch the one that you want to fret. So if you do this, it's going to be a lot cleaner than, see what I mean? So fingers close to the strings. We're going to use these 2 fingers again, and we're going to play open, 3, 5, 3, open. 1, 2, ready, go. Open, 3, 5, 3, open, next string, go. Open, 3, 5, 3, open, next string, go. Open, 3, 5, 3, open, next string, go. Open, 3, 5, 3, open, and done. So if you want to take a minute, practice that a couple times on your own. You can rewind me or pause me or whatever you need to do. Then we're going to do a different exercise as soon as you come back or right now. So what we're going to do this time is we're going to start with open E, but then we're going to go 3, 5, 3, 5, 3, 5, 3, 5, 3, 5, 3, 5, 3, open. All we're doing is we're just rocking our fingers on the 3 and the 5. And actually I'm using 2 and 4 this time. 1, open, 3, 5. And we're just walking up the strings. So you're just making really small movements, but you're pushing on each string as you go. And if you find sometimes these 2 fingers are the weakest of all the fingers, like I know mine are. I don't, yours might be as well. Usually these two fingers are pretty strong. If it's easier for you to go with these two fingers, that's fine. If your hands are smaller, it might be easier to just go for your second and fourth finger. So remember, we're gonna go open and then 3, 5 on each string all the way up to the top and then walk it back down. We won't go quite that fast. 1, 2, ready, go. Open, 3, 5, 3, 5, 3, 5, 3, 5, 3, 5, 3, 3, 5, 3, open. All right, let's do that again. 1, 2, ready, go. Open, 3, 5, 3, 5, 3, 5, 3, 3, 5, 3, 5, 3, 3, open. And that's pretty good bass progression right there. That's really simple and easy to use. What I want you to do again is put me on pause, and that's another progression that you can practice on your own. One thing that I like to do when I practice is start really slow to make sure that my technique is good and my fingers are pushing on the right strings and I'm making good contact. I'm not missing or getting weird buzzy sounds. And then speed it up a little bit. Pretty soon you can start counting 1, 2, ready, go. Open, 3, 5, 3, 5, 3, 5, 3, 5. And then practice that 2 or 3 times in a row. Then speed it up a little bit more. So you can play it 1, 2, ready, go. Open, 3, 5, 3, 5, 3, 5. So you can just keep practicing it over and over and get a little faster every time. But always make sure that you stay pretty firm with the string and make sure your technique is still really good. So now you have a couple of different runs with different sets of frets that you can practice on your own time. Just keep using this video. And I do recommend that you just start slow with each one. If that slow run is perfect, then speed it up a little bit. And then play it at that pace until you feel really good about it, and then speed it up a little bit more. You can try just going from string to string like we did with the walkthrough. Just go open 3, 5, 3, 5, 3, 5. You can come up here and go open 5, 7, 5, 7, 5, 7, and back down. You can stretch it out a little bit if you want to challenge yourself. You can go open 3, 7. Open 3, 7, open 3, 7, and that will kind of challenge you to get to a string, and if you're going to slide into a string, to make sure that you land on the right fret. And then you can also do really cool things like stuff like that and just play with the bass. So we've reviewed all the parts of the bass, we've worked on some frets, and then in the next set of lessons you're going to learn how to play bass runs that fit in songs and that go along with what guitar players are learning to do, and then you'll be able to write songs for your band. Thank you. Again, my name's Kate for Girls Rock. Thank you for being a part of the organization. Thank you for being a camper, and thank you for being such an amazing person. I hope to see you soon. Bye-bye. Open, 3,